Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome, brothers and sisters, to another episode of Once Upon a Time. Hi kids, how are you?
Good.
Fine.
Good, and I'm really pleased to introduce to the audience, we've got Yusuf. Hi Yusuf.
Hi.
Hi Jannah.
Hi.
And Abdurrahman.
Hi.
So, what story are we going to tell today? Who can guess what came after Adam? Who came after Adam?
Abel and his brother.
Very good. Very, very close. Well done, Yusuf. Yes, today we're going to talk about the story of Qabil and Habil. And
His brother killed his
He-
little brother.
He did. You're giving away the story. Well done. Yes, very good. You may also know that their names are Cain and Abel. So Qabil is Cain and Habil is Abel. But we say Qabil and Habil. So after Adam was on earth, he was settled on earth with Eve. Eve gave birth to their first child, and she had twins. Yes.
Every time she gets birth, there are twins, sister and brother.
Exactly. Very good. You know this story. You should tell the story. So she gave birth to twins. She had two sets of twins. And the first children, they were the first children on earth, okay? And Adam, he was a really good father, and Eve was a contented mother. She loved being a mother. And the twins were Cain and his sister. So Cain was the first one and his sister. And then later, Eve gave birth again to twins, and it was Abel and his sister. The family enjoyed all the bounties and fruits on earth that Allah had provided. And the children grew up to be strong and healthy young adults. And Cain, he farmed the land, and Abel, he raised all the cattle, all the animals. And then after some time, when the boys were older, they wanted to get married. They wanted to have wives and partners themselves. So this was part of Allah's plan for all of mankind to multiply and form nations from different cultures and different colors. And Allah revealed to Adam that he should marry each son to the twin sister of the other. Is that confusing?
Yeah.
No? Yes? So
No.
Cain was going to marry Abel's sister, and Abel was going to marry Cain's sister. Okay? So this is what Allah had commanded. But Cain wasn't happy with this. He was displeased because he didn't think that Abel's sister was beautiful enough. And it appears that since the beginning of time, physical beauty has been a factor in attracting men and women. You know, we like what we see. We like, yes, you've got to look nice. I want to marry you because you look nice. And this attraction caused Cain to envy his brother Abel. And he rebelled against Allah's command by refusing to accept his father's advice. And Adam was in a dilemma. He didn't know what to do. He wanted peace and harmony in the family. So he prayed and he asked Allah for help. And Allah commanded that each son offer a sacrifice. And he whose offering was accepted would have his right side. It would be he was the right one. So Abel offered his very best camel, while Cain offered his worst grain. And Cain's sacrifice was not accepted by Allah because of his disobedience to his father Adam and his insincerity of the offering. And this enraged Cain. Cain got even angrier. And then realizing that his hopes of marrying his own sister, who he thought was very beautiful, it wasn't going to happen, he then threatened his brother Abel. I will kill you. I refuse to see you happy while I remain unhappy. And Abel, he was feeling very sorry for his brother, and he replied, it would be more proper for you, my brother, to search for the cause of your unhappiness and then walk in the way of peace. Allah accepts the deeds only from those who serve and fear him, not from those who reject his commands. Abel was very intelligent, he was smart, and he was obedient, and he was always ready to obey the will of Allah. And this was completely opposite to his brother, who was very arrogant and selfish and disobedient to Allah. And Abel, Habil, he did not fear his brother's threats. But neither did he want his brother to be hurt. He didn't want to hurt his brother either. And Allah had blessed Abel with purity and compassion. And hoping that his brother would not hate him anymore, Abel said, "My brother, if you raise your hand to me to kill me, I will not raise my hand to kill you, because I fear Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. I want to let you bear your sin against me along with your other sins. Then you will be one of those destined for the fire. And that is the reward of the wrongdoers." So this plea did nothing to lessen Cain's hate. Cain still hated Abel. After everything Abel just said, Cain still hated him. And he didn't fear Allah's punishment. He didn't even care about the family, that it would break the family. And Cain, one day, he struck his brother with a stone, killing him instantly. And this was the first death, the first criminal act on earth that a man committed. And when Abel did not appear for some time, his father Adam began to search for him. He couldn't find him. He looked everywhere and he couldn't find him. He couldn't find his beloved son. And he asked Cain about Abel's whereabouts. "Where's your brother?" And Cain, he replied that he was not his brother's keeper. He didn't know. It wasn't his responsibility to know where his brother was. And he wasn't his protector either.
But he's the one who called him.
He is, Abdurrahman, he is, yes. And from those words, you're clever, like Adam was. Because from those words, his father understood that Abel was dead and that he was filled with grief. He was so sad because he knew that his son was dead. Meanwhile, Cain did not know what to do with his brother's body. He killed him. What do I do with the body? So he carried it on his back, wandering from place to place, trying to hide it somewhere so nobody would find it. And his anger, it was now, he started to feel his conscience, he was a little bit sad. He started to feel a little bit guilty about killing his brother. And he started to get tired because he was carrying his brother's body and he was looking everywhere, and his brother started to smell because he was dead. And as a mercy and to show that dignity could be retained even after death, Allah sent 2 ravens, 2 big black birds that began fighting.
One of them won, and then he teach the guy with the body how to hide bodies.
Very good, Yusuf. Yes, you know the story as well. So the birds began to fight and causing one of them to die. So one of the birds died. And the victorious bird, he then started clawing with his beak and his hands to dig a hole in the ground. And he was rolling the other bird into this hole. Now when Cain saw this, aha, he thought. And he was overcome with shame and remorse because he realized what he'd done to his brother. And he cried, "Alas, have I even failed to be like this crow and bury the corpse of my brother?" Cain then buried his brother, and this was also the first burial of man on earth.
But not the first bird.
But not the first what?
Of birds.
Not the first, yes. So he was the first person to die, the first human to
And the
die.
first bird was the crow.
The first bird was the crow. Very good. You're very clever, Abdurrahman. Very clever. So that's the end of our story. Did we enjoy that story today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good one, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
was excellent. All right, well, thank you for being with me again today. And thank you, brothers and sisters. And we hope to see you in our next episode with another great story, Once Upon a Time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.